Hi, I'm Niki, the Obsessive Bookseller. Welcome to episode 10 of my genre deep dive challenge. Voted on by my patrons, this is a quarterly challenge we're running, and we are currently focused on series we'd like to pay more attention to, and I have chosen sci-fi. And as we are on episode 10, I've read at least 10 books towards this challenge, and I think I've liked most of them. I'm really actually looking forward to doing a ranking at the end of this video series to see actually how well my reading went. In any case, chosen for this episode, The Martian by Andy Weir. Did a buddy read with this with my patrons. And okay, so I knew I was primed to like this one. I had a feeling about it. I felt like it would work for me. But I did not expect to laugh out loud as often as I did throughout this book. I thought it was awesome. It had a perfect balance of everything. The sciencey stuff, the human connection, the humor, the suspense of it, the discovery aspect of figuring out what's going to happen to this poor bloke. I knew I was going to like it, but I did not realize I was going to like it as much as I did. It probably deserves a solid 5-star, but I usually save those for favorite books within favorite series. So like that extra kick of emphasis or whatever. But as it is, I'm coming in at a 4.5 out of 5 stars. It was awesome. There wasn't a single thing I didn't like about it. There are some one-liners in here that I hope to remember for a long time coming. And here's the thing, the science stuff in here. One of my patrons mentioned that the author was an engineer, and I'm like, you'd have to be to get as detailed as some of the problem solving that he came up with in this book. Not only the problem solving, but to create the problem in the first place and then have this elegant solution for it. It was so well done and creative. The kind of thing that I think every single problem would have taken weeks and weeks to kind of work out the details of to make it sound plausible. And as kind of a heathen, it all sounded plausible to me. I was sold, yeah, sure, that seems like that would work. Good idea. So very impressed by so many things about this author. A lot of you have been commenting that Project Hail Mary is a great one as well, so I'm super excited for that one. Not a lot of you have said anything about Artemis, so I'm a little bit nervous, but I'm probably going to be picking up Artemis first and then Project Hail Mary second, because this is a lovely broken binding edition, and I made a deal with myself that if I signed up for these nice subscription boxes, I'm actually going to make time to read the book. So, one out of the gate. It's not technically a series, but they're all of the same vein, so I'm considering all 3 books I'm considering it like I started a new series with this one, but look at that. Anyway, if like me, you missed out on all of the hype around this book and haven't gotten around to it by this point, give it a go. Unlike some books, this one is popular for a very good reason. Here's another thing about this one. I hear so many people talk about Becky Chambers as this feel-good science fiction author. Move over, Becky Chambers. This was a feel-good sci-fi to me. And not only that, it had a lot of substance and depth, and it had a really good plot. I would go as far as to say this is a comfort read. Let's talk about other books you might like. I know you're probably getting really tired of hearing me talk about John Scalzi, but the minute that I picked up this book, it instantly reminded me of Old Man's War. And a lot of that is probably due to the audio narrator. This one was narrated by Will Wheaton, who also does a lot of Scalzi's works. You have a smart yet lighthearted and slightly cheeky main character, always a good start. A fun plot that's suspenseful, but not quite so far gone that you're stressed while you're reading it. And you get that pure enjoyment factor with both authors of just really enjoying your time while you're with them. Planetside by Michael Mamet. Are you sick of hearing me talk about this one yet? Because this is one of my all-time favorite books, and The Martian is one that has come close to matching how much I love Planetside. Mark Watney in The Martian is really good at problem solving, but he's really good with picking up cues on environment and formulating these plans or whatever. Colonel Carl Butler does the exact same thing, only he does it with the relationships and the humans around him. So it's the same level of problem solving, the same level of humor. I laughed so much at the Planetside book, and it's that subtle humor that I love. And actually, for me, I felt like Planetside had an even better ending than The Martian. How do you like them apples? And if you like the tone of The Martian and don't mind things with slightly more dark humor, The Siege Trilogy by K.G. Parker. The writing style in the Siege Trilogy was more sophisticated. There's a lot more cool stuff going on in that one. But The Martian didn't really need any bells and whistles, but this one just happens to have all of the same good elements as The Martian, plus some really cool creative writing tools. I think you'll like the main character in 16 Ways to Defend a Walled City. I think you'll appreciate the bit of levity that the author brings in despite some of the horrible things going on, because The Martian could have easily been a tragedy, but it's the way he wrote it and the tone he chose to bring that made it so brilliant and fun. And I feel the same way about 16 Ways, even though some awful things happen to some people. And those are my recommends. You can't go wrong. So now that I've done The Martian, it's time to pick another book. It'll be the penultimate one for this particular challenge. Reading The Martian has put me in a heavy mood for some John Scalzi, and there are only 2 books from him that I haven't read yet. So with that in mind, I will be diving into Red Shirts next, which for me is a bit of a risky read, because I am a huge Star Wars fan, but I don't know crap about Star Trek. I've seen the Chris Pine movies. I'm pretty sure I've seen all 3 of them, but don't ask me anything like names. I know the Enterprise, I know Picard and William Shatner, and Klingons, which has always struck me as a really odd choice of names. But anyway, I have no idea if this one has actual characters from the Star Trek universe or if he makes up all of his own, but I think the idea of a red shirt is supposed to be really funny, and John Scalzi cracks me up. So I'm going in, but I'm going in tentatively. I'm worried that I'm going to miss things because I'm not a huge Trek fan, and there might be some jokes and nuances that I don't pick up on. So, but luckily I'm reading it with a couple of patrons, and hopefully they have a little more experience with it than I do, and they can tell me the jokes that I missed. I've cracked the spine on this one already, and even just from the prologue, I'm tickled. So that's it for episode 10. Voting has commenced, and my patrons have already selected what topic we're going to be focusing on for next quarter. And I'm already trying to get ahead of myself a little bit by planning for that one, because I think it's going to be super fun. But anyway, we have 2 more episodes here and then a wrap-up episode, and somewhere in there I will announce what the new topic is going to be, probably when I have a thumbnail for it. Anyway, thank you for watching and following along on this series with me. My patrons are getting access to it a full quarter ahead of time, so if you'd like to get in on the action in real time, link to my Patreon is in the description. Otherwise, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye.